Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So I have started a MERN Stack series and this is the first video in the MERN Stack series. Before learning the complete MERN Stack, the fundamental language which we use to learn is JavaScript, that to the ES6 version. And if you learn this ES6 version, whatever the topics we'll be covering in this video, that is more than enough to learn the basics of MERN Stack to perform a CRUD operations. Okay, now what are the topics we are going to discuss in this video is what are the topics we have mentioned on the screen. These topics will be discussed. Now first of all, we'll say what exactly the JavaScript is. So JavaScript is a language. It is used to develop both client side and as well as the server side applications. That means if you consider a web application, it will be having regarding the front end development also and as well as the back end development also. To develop this both front end and back end, we'll make use of the JavaScript. Okay, now let's dive into the JavaScript basics. As we know, for any programming language, the first thing what we need to learn is how to declare a variables. Now coming to the JavaScript, there are three ways of declaring different types of variables, and we'll discuss one by one. In order to perform the hands-on session or to type the code, I'll be using a JS bin. The link will be provided in the description box. Okay, now let's start with how to create variables. As I told you, so there are three ways of creating a variables. Okay, so okay, so now okay, first of all, the first thing is even to the prior to the ES6 version also we had a var keyword in order to declare the variable. I'll tell you what is the how to declare a variable. It is normal. We'll not be using data type in JavaScript. Instead, var, then the variable name. I'll say a. Let us assign a value called as 10, and I'll console log it. Console log is the instruction which will be used to print the value, just like a printf statement in C programming. Now let us run the program. All right, so see, so 10. So I'm able to get the output. Okay. Now the problem is with the var keyword is it is having a global declaration. It is having a global declaration. The scope of this variable, if you declare any variable uh, with the var, it will be having a global declaration. So it has a problem. The problem is that if you declare a variable at the very beginning of the program, entire in the file in the program, I can access it anywhere. So and it is not encouraged after the ES6 version is introduced. Instead, we'll be having a let keyword. I'll show you like how it is having a global declaration. So let us have a, let me create a one block. Now here I'm assigning a value 10. Now I'll console log it here or outside the block. Let me console log it. Let me print. So here I'll end the instruction of the set. Now see, I'll be able to get the output. Now change the value. Yes. Now I'll be able to get the output. Now, if you consider, if you declare a particular variable instead of using a var, if you declare it as a let, all right. If I say let, now console log it again. So that is a. Now, if you execute the program, you will get a error here. See, a is not defined. That means the scope of this variable, which lies inside this curly braces only. That means inside this block. Hence, we say that it is a block level scope. Block level scope. Okay. Now, instead of this, if you print it inside the block, yes, we'll get the output. You can see, yeah, see, we'll get the output. Now that is about var and let. And what about the constant here is constant. We might be knowing that constant variable is where the value assigned to a particular variable will not be changed. Okay. Now let us try to reassign a value to it. Before that, let me console log it. Console log a. Now let us run the program. See, we are getting the output. Okay. Okay. Now, if I try to change a value, value in order to the particular variable, okay, we'll get a error. Okay, the type error assignment to a constant variable, it is not possible. So generally where we will use the constant variable is that, so in order to assign a particular value which will not change. Example, let us consider we are developing some student management application where the college name or the school name is same for all the students. So in that cases, I can declare something like um, college underscore name is equals to something like some ABC college, something like this. Okay. Now do the console log again. So it is college underscore name. Okay. End with a semicolon. I'll clear the screen. So we are getting the output. Okay. So that is about the how to create a variables. What is the next topic here? I'll share this presentation slides also for you for your reference. All right. Next is we need to discuss about the functions. Okay, functions, we all know that it is a piece of code which we execute. I mean, which we call that particular function whenever we require. Okay. Now to declare a function, normal function in JavaScript, we have to use a function keyword, then the function name. Example, I'll use something like display, and I'll use an output statement, something like console log. Console log. Here I'll say welcome to JavaScript functions. Okay. So just clear the screen and check. So now see, I have defined the function here, but if I run the program, it will not work, because in functions, once we define the function, we have to call the function. So then only the particular function will be executed. Okay, now I'm calling the function. Let's check now. Now see, I am getting the output. Okay, it is as similar to the functions which is in other programming languages. Only thing is, here will not mention the return type. Okay, it can take variables also or the parameters also. So let us say I'll take two variables, num1 and num2, like this. Let me add like num1 plus num2. Okay, I have to return this value. Okay, fine. Now let us call the function display. It is better if you type the code along with me so that you will understand. At least after I execute the program, you pause the video and type the code. All right. So now here I need to pass the values. Example, I'll pass 10, 20. Okay. Now, since it is returning, if you can observe here, it is returning the value. So I'll declare a variable, something like result, and I'll be storing into it. Now here, don't worry about that error. It is showing like we are using a ES6 version. That's all. Okay. Now I'll write a console.log. I'll be using res, store it, and now clear the screen. So I'm getting the output. Okay. But this is how we need to declare the functions in JavaScript by using a functions. Okay, with variable, with parameters and without parameters also. Okay, after this we need to discuss about arrow functions. Guys, I am stressing it again. Arrow functions are very much important and very often we will use in MERN Stack. Okay, whether it is a front end development or in the back end development, we'll make use of arrow functions very oftenly. Now, how to declare this arrow functions is very simple. It is similar to the functions only, but it is the simplest version of the functions, I can say. Okay, how can I use it is, say for example, generally make a habit of declaring this arrow functions using a const keyword. So const, I'll use a variable, something like res, or I can say I'll use uh, let it be res is equals to, I have to use the round braces. Here I have not mentioned any kind of function name. Instead, it is a variable I have used it. I'll explain after executing this program. Okay. Now I have to use this equal symbol in the greater than symbol. This is the arrow. All right. By this actually it is called as arrow functions. Maybe you can remember. Then after that the curly braces. So I'm, as of now, I'm explaining the arrow function, which is very much similar to a normal function. Okay. Now I'll write return. Before that, let me console log it. Console log I'll write welcome to JavaScript, end with a semicolon. Now, as I told you, if there is a function, we need to call that particular function. Right? So I'll use result. Okay. Now run the program. So I got the output. Welcome to JS. Okay. Now in this case, actually, I am not using any parameters. Okay. If I am not using the parameters, there is one more simplest way is there that I'll tell you. Okay. Now let me use the parameter something like num1 comma num2. Same example I'm taking it. Here, what I'll do is I'll use a return num1 plus num2. Similarly, since I'm returning the particular value, I have to store it somewhere. So this time what I'll do is something like let sum is equal to result. Then after that, I'll write a console.log. So it is sum. Okay. Now clear the screen. Why it is so? Because I'm not passing the parameters. I'm not passing the values. So okay. Now clear the screen. Run. So I'm getting the output. Okay. If you want, you can change the values and check. So I'm getting the output. Okay, like this. Now this is very much similar to your normal function. How I declare the normal function. So I'll type it again. It is something like function and like something like this. Then the parameters num1, num2. After that, see open and closing braces. And whatever the return statement, same thing I have to use it num1 plus num2. Same thing like this only. Only thing is what I'm doing is you can remember something like it is a function is without name. Instead, this function is stored in this particular variable. And whenever we call this, this function will be executed. Okay. Now you can ask me that. So you have told earlier that arrow functions are the simplest versions of the functions. How it is? I'll show you. Now let us assume that I'm using only a one instruction. If it is having one instruction, there is no need of mentioning this flower braces also. Okay. Still it is a valid, and there is no requirement of return also. All right, we can directly call this result same as it is. Let sum is equals to result, and of course I need to pass the parameters 10 comma 30, and I'll call that particular function. I have called it right. Log it, console log it, console.log. Here I'll mention sum. Okay, that's about it. Let's check. Here it. I'm getting the output. See, I have not mentioned any return statement. I have not used any open braces, I mean curly braces on anything. And moreover, if it is, let us assume that you are having only there is no only one parameter. If you have this only one parameter, I don't want to mention the this one, the round braces also. I can directly write num. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll multiply with 2, and here I'll pass only one parameter. Now let's check it. Okay, this is enough. Num1 is not defined. It is num1. Okay, num it is. And clear it. See, I'm getting the output. So that is why I said, see, it is with a one line itself, I can define the function. Okay, so remember, if it is having only one parameter, then there is no need of mentioning the round braces. If you mention also, no issues, it will work. So remember this version. Okay, now still it will work. 20, and you can ask me then when to use the return statement. If you are writing more than one statement, and moreover, if you're using this curly braces, then you have to write the return statement. All right, return you have to write. Otherwise, it will not work. Okay, see, it is showing the error. Now I can write a return. So num into 2, fine. I'll pass some other value. 20, I'll pass it this time. So I'm getting the output. So this is about the arrow function. I think I have made it clear how I am using the arrow functions. Okay. Now, before that, after that, I have to discuss about template literals. But I'll tell you that you have to practice at least some 3 to 4 functions of arrow functions. As I mentioned earlier, it is very oftenly used once you're thorough with the arrow functions, and so that will be easier to understand the MERN concepts or to learn any kind of a framework. Okay. Now, what is the next concept we need to discuss is it is a template literals. Okay, template literals. Let us go for template literals. What do you mean by template literals is, say for example, I wanted to display a message like, with suppose example, if a user is logged in, let's say the user name is something like let name is equals to Mr. Ramesh, um, Ramesh, okay, and course name, I'll say let course name is equals to um, MERN, MERN. Okay, let's say now I want to display a message like something like hi Ramesh, welcome to MERN Stack, something like welcome to the course called MERN Stack. So how can I do that is, the one way we know that is string concatenation. I'll use that console.log. So here I need to mention hi, because I have need to display a variable. I have to use something like Mr. What is the name? We have the variable. It is name. Again, I have to mention hi, welcome to the course. Again, I have to use something like this. It is, sorry, what is the course name, right? Course underscore name. I'll end with a semicolon. Okay, I did wrong. Yeah, I not close this. Okay, that's all. Okay. Now that's clear. Check. See, now I'm getting hi Ramesh. After this, I need to leave a space. So clear and check. Hi Ramesh, welcome to course man, like this. Now let's see if you can observe the instructions here. How many times I have to use this plus symbols and double quotes and all that. Instead of this, there is one more way. Easiest way is that using a template literals. Template literals. This which I'm talking about. So how to use the template literals is, so console.log, same output statement, you can use it. Here observe, instead of double quotes, you have to use the backtick. You have to use the backtick. That is, the backtick is, it is the key above the tab key in your keyboard. Here, and whatever the message I need to display, you can use it, something like hi, so welcome, hi Ramesh, I need to get it right. For that, in order to display the variable value, you have to use the dollar symbol. After that, the curly braces. Inside the curly brace, you can mention the variable name. So that it is in about that. So I'll get hi Ramesh. Then after that, welcome to course, where I'll mention about dollar symbol, then the curly braces, then the course underscore name. Okay, end with a semicolon. Now let's check it. Now see, I'm getting the output. All right, and after that, I'll say thank you for enrolling. Okay, got it. See, I'm getting the output. So this is how we'll be using the template literals. You can ask me, sir, where it will be used. And template literals is, template literals are more oftenly used in front end as well, and more often used in the front end, and as well as in the back end also will use it. Because in the front end, what will happen whenever we receive the value from the back end, in order to display the values, we'll make use of template literals. And there also, on the in back end also, maybe something like to mention about what the port numbers or any other variable value you need to display it, or if you need to consume it, we'll make use of the template literals. Okay, we'll move on to the next topic. Next topic is destructuring. Okay, what do you mean by destructuring is that there are two kinds of destructures. destructurings are there. One is the array destructuring, another one is the object destructuring. We'll discuss both. Okay. What is the meaning of destructuring exactly is, say for example, we have a array, something like this, num array we have, the values are something like this. Okay. Now, if I wanted to assign the values of this, if I wanted to assign the array values to a different variables, how can I do that is, I can make use of something like this, where I'll mention the order matters here, remember, okay, is equals to num. Now what will happen is, after executing this instruction, alright, the 11 value will be assigned to variable A, and 22 will be assigned to B, and 33 will be assigned to C, and 44 will be assigned to B. If you want, you can check it. I'll do a console log. I'll mention the B. See, now if you can execute, what is the expected output? Since we are having B, so it is the second position, and the second value in the array is 22. See, I'll get the 22. Now, if I display C, alright, see, I'll get 33. Of course, that is the previous output, 33. Alright, I can display like this. So this is about array destructuring. And how about the object destructuring is that this is very important, again, the object destructuring, because where it will happen and where we require this is, whenever we retrieve the data from the database, we'll get all the values. Among those values, we may be interested to we may be interested to retrieve only few values and assign that to a particular variable. How is possible is by making use of destructuring. Again, destructuring also very oftenly we will use it. Let us consider one of the objects. Some example, let students, I'll use name is Ramesh. So I think I spelled it wrong for Ramesh. Then department is CSE. Then semester is a value, right? So 6th, like this. Now, without destructuring, if I wanted to display a particular name, say for example, I wanted to display the name. How can I do? Generally, how we will think, what comes to your mind is, we'll write console.log, and after that, I will mention the name. Now, for this one, we'll get error. We'll not get the output. If you want, you can check it once. It says, see, name is not defined. Though it is declared inside this object, it is not defined. So instead, if I wanted to print that particular value, how can I do that is, I have to use the object name, then you have to use it. Something like students dot name. Now check it. Now I got the output. So I have to mention the object name, then the variable name, students dot name. Instead of this, if you wanted to mention student at department, yeah, you can check it. See, CSA, I'm getting it. Instead, what I can do is, I can do a destructuring. How is, I'll use name, comma, department, comma, semester is equals to, now students. Now what exactly, the students is an object which holds all these values. Now whatever the values, the key values what we have inside this object, so in the same order, that is, the first value will be assigned to the name, second value will be assigned to the department, and third value will be assigned to the semester. Now I can use a name, department in the console.log. Earlier we were not getting the output, right? Here we'll get it. If you want, you can see name, check it, clear the screen. See, I'm getting now. I no need to mention the object name now. Hope you got it regarding the array destructuring and as well as the object destructuring. Okay. So what is the next concept is? Next concept is a spread operator. We'll see spread operator is, what is the meaning of spread operator is that, example, we have a one array content, and I wanted to merge the array1 content into array2. In that case, I can make use of the spread operator. So let us say the example is array1 is equals to, let us say we have the arrays values called as 11, 22, 33, 44. Okay. Now one more array, I'll declare it arr2 is equals to, now I'll display 55, 66. Okay. Okay. Now I'll do a console.log of array2 contents, array2. Okay. Now let us see the output. Say I'm getting 55 and 66. Now what if I wanted to use if I wanted to merge these values into this array, is how I can do that is using a three dots. Remember, three dots, then the array name. Okay. So what I'm doing is, so I'm writing the three dots, and after that I am mentioning the array name. Now let's check the output. Let me clear the screen. Now see, I'm getting all the values. 11, 22, 33, 44. Then the second, sorry, not here. See, here I need to merge it. I'm sorry for that. Array1. Now I'll use array2. Now clear the output screen. Now see, I'm getting one single array of by merging the contents of this into this. Array1 contents into the array2, or copying the contents of array1 into copying the contents to array2. Okay, I hope you got it. Now you can ask me, sir, where it will be useful and where we will be using this is while say for example, if I retrieve the data of a student, maybe one table will be having a personal information, another table will be having academic information. And if I wanted to display all the details, including academic and as well as the personal details, I need to merge the values. I need to merge it. In those cases, I can use of the spread operator. Spread operator. Okay. I hope I made it clear till now. So the next one is map and filter. Okay, this is also very important, and especially we'll make use of this map and filters in the both front end and as well as in the back end. In the back end, when we retrieve the data from the DB, in order to display the selected output or selected data, in order to send the selected data to the front end, we'll make use of this. So what is the syntax for this is, say for example, I'll use array. So let array is equals to, I'll use this 11, 22, 33, or let's say that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's enough. Now please observe the syntax. Syntax is that I have to use the array or whatever the object I'm using it. So here I'm using array arr dot. I have to use the map keyword. Inside of this, leave a space. Again, I have to use the arrow function. Already we discussed about the arrow function. I'm using arrow function. Okay. Now here, say for example, I have to use one parameter here. Examples to say, I'll say num. Now what will happen? Now the map function, it will iterate through the entire array. It will iterate through the entire array. Every element it will take, and whatever the operation will perform here, same thing will be operation after executing that particular operation. New copy of the array will be created. Example to say, let's suppose that I wanted the square of these numbers. Okay. Now what I will do? So each number will come to this num parameter. Now how to square it? As I said, each value will come into this num variable. So it is num star num. Don't get confused that since if I mentioned the entire array will come. No, not array will come, but one by one, each and every element by element will get it. Now it will return. Hope you remember while discussing about the arrow function, I said that if I won't mention anything, if it is a single line instruction, no need of mentioning the return keyword, still it will return it. Okay. Now let's say I'll declare one variable called as squares. Okay. Now I'll do a console.log and squares. Okay. Now what will happen is each value will come to a num, and here we have done the operation called as num star num. That is, the number, each number will be squared and it will be returned. That will be stored into the squares. It is something like a looping structure. It will iterate through all the values of the array. Okay. Now let's check it. Now see, I'm getting the squares of all the numbers. What are the numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Squares of all the numbers are there. So this is about map. And one more is there, that is called as a filter. Filter, always it is used whenever we need to filter. That means something like if I wanted to retrieve some values based on the condition. In that case, I need to filter the values based on the condition. Say for example, from this array, I'm interested in retrieving only the even numbers. How I can do that is again the same thing. Instead of map, I have to use a filter. I'll retype it again. It is ARR. That instead of map here, I have to use a filter. Same thing, I have to create arrow function. Okay. Now here, as usual, just like how in map, how we have used it, same thing, filter I have to use. Now I have to mention the condition. We already know the logic of how to retrieve how to check a particular number is a even number. That is, any number which is divisible by 2 is called as a even number. So I'll using a triple equal, that is the exact match. So what will happen here? So each number will come here, each number will come into the num, and num divided by 2, if the remainder is equals to 0, only such number will be returned. So since it is returning, I'll take let even. Okay, I'll end with a semicolon this instruction. Now I'll do a console dot log of this even. All right. Now let's see. Now see, only the even numbers will come. Only the even numbers. I hope you are getting it. Okay. So that is about arrays and this maps and filters. So one more topic which I have not mentioned in the list of contents which I displayed is chaining. That is how to combine this map and as well as filter. Let's see with an example. Let us see that here. Let us do a first task is what I need to retrieve the only the even numbers. Okay, even numbers. Then later we'll square those numbers. Okay. How I can do that is, say for example, let result is equals to ARR dot filter. So I have to create array function. It is num. So num modulus of 2, which is equals to 0, and this I'll keep it in next line since I need to combine both. It is map. Again it is num. Here whatever the num, I'm getting it, num star num. Now what is going on here is that first what it is doing, from this it will iterate through all the values of the array. It will take each value and it will produce only the even numbers, and those even numbers I'm squaring it using a map function. Now if you want to clear the screen, now let console log it. Console.log is which one? Response or okay, or result, whatever. Now clear the screen. Now see, I'm getting, so among this, which are all the even numbers? 2, 4 and 6, and if you square it, I'm getting 4, 16 and 30, 36. So one more scenario where this chaining is very much useful. I'll try to create one real-time example. Let us create a student DB. I'll create one object by name student DB. Let us create so it is array of objects, right? So let us say name is Mr. Ramesh and department ESE and semester 6, right? I'll create some 3 more such objects. So Ramesh, Suresh, and say, let us create this as ISE, or let me make this as ISE. This is again a CSE. Okay, now I'm in. So it looks like a normal student database. Now I wanted to display the student names who belongs to the CSE department. Okay, so as of now, this according to this example, we have 2 of such objects where Ramesh and as well as Sushma. These are the 2 students, and I need to display only the student names. Now here, what I need to do, I need to perform the 2 operations. First operation is what? I need to filter the student names which belongs to the department is equals to CSE, and as well as from that particular the students who are belongs to CSE department, I need to display the names. Okay, so let's say names equals to, it is in where student db dot, I need to filter it first. Sorry, I need to filter it. Filter. I need to create a student. I need to create a arrow function. Student arrow function. Here I need to first retrieve the students who belongs to the CS department. So what I have to do is that is student, because each, now in this what will happen, arrow function, each object will come into this variable. Now student dot, we need to know CS department, right? Department is equals to CSE, and now from with the help of this instruction, what I can get, I can get the students who belongs to the CS department. Now from this I need to display the only the names. Okay, now I'm creating a arrow function. So there it is. Here it is a student again. Now names I need to display it, student dot name. Okay, now I'll display console. I'll do a console log. Console.log these names. Now let's execute and check. See, I'm getting only the students who belongs to the CS department, Ramesh and as well as Sushma. Okay, I hope you got it. So this is one of the real world example which I'm considering for the chaining. Okay, now so that's about the fundamentals of JavaScript. The basic topics I have considered, we have discussed in this video. If you found this video is helpful, so please share with your friends, those who are starting to learn MERN Stack. All right, and if you find any doubts or if you have any queries, please comment it. I'll respond as earliest as possible. Okay, wait for the next video. In the next video, we'll be starting the backend concept, backend technologies we will start, Node.js and Express.js. So thank you for watching.